Moving on with the concept clearing videos. Now, if you go back to my channel, Biofactory, Clear Biology with Rekha or with Rekha ma'am, you will understand that my main purpose of uploading these lectures is just concept clarity. In the last few lectures that I have uploaded since the beginning of this year, I have dealt with the concept of living world, the concept of the criteria of classifying an organism as living, the concept of binomial nomenclature, hierarchy, taxonomic hierarchies, and basically the first chapter of NCERT, class 11th, and also the binomial nomenclature. There are two lectures that I have devoted to binomial nomenclature or to biological names. Zoological names, botanical names of common plants and animals, of common pathogens, parasites, etc. Now, coming back to that, there's another video that I'm going to upload very soon on the third topic. A lot of students have been asking me. I've uploaded about 100 biological names and I'll upload 50 to 100 more. So keep looking out for those lectures and keep sharing them and asking them if there's anything else you need for me to complete or add to those lectures. Yeah. Now today's lecture I'm going to devote to now I have dealt with the concept of classification, dealt with the concept of classifying the living world into kingdoms according to taxonomic hierarchy. The highest taxon in the living world, or the highest category or the highest categorization of the living world. So the entire living world, which consists of the world which has life in it or living organisms, the entire world which comprises of living organisms. Cell is the basis of life. I've devoted one lecture to that too. Cell is the basis of life. Go through all those lectures clearly. So the entire concept of living world or the entire living world is divided into 5 kingdoms. Repeating this again and again. The entire living world is divided into 5 kingdoms. And viruses have a place which is outside this living world, which is not divided into, does not find a place in any of the kingdom. Again, I think I'm just repeating this again. You will find this in my shorts as well. Viruses are neither considered to be cellular nor they're considered to be acellular. They're considered to be non-cellular or something which doesn't have a cellular basis of life, and cell is considered to be the basis of life. For MCQ solving, this concept and understanding of these concepts, understanding of clarity of these concepts is very important, which is why I'm repeating these again and again. When you start your class 11th, I want you to have a solid base of the concept of biology, solid base of the meaning of biology. Without that solid base, solving of MCQs is very difficult. Very quickly, I'm going to start solving MCQs with you based on chapter 1, chapter 2, etc. But I first need to upload a few lectures on the concept clarity of the whole criterion on which biology of class 11th and 12th or NEET bio is based. Coming back. So the living world is classified into 5 kingdoms. Viruses do not have a place in the living world. The entire living world is divided into 5 kingdoms. Kingdom is the highest in taxonomic hierarchy. After kingdom comes phylum in case of animals, division in case of plants. Again, this is repetition. After phylum comes class. After class comes subclass or order. After order comes family. After family, genus, and after genus comes species. So species is the lowest in the taxonomic hierarchy. Repeating it again and again. Species is the lowest in taxonomic hierarchy and kingdom is the highest in taxonomic hierarchy. So the living world is divided into 5 kingdoms. The 5 kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. The entire living world is divided into 5 kingdoms, and the 5 kingdoms are kingdom number 1, please write it down clearly, is Monera. I'm writing it down with you. The second kingdom is Protista, Protista. The third kingdom is Fungi, Fungi. It is a plural of fungus. The fourth kingdom is kingdom Plantae, Latin name for plants. And the fifth is kingdom Animalia. Again, it is Latin for animals. Look, I've just written it down very clearly. The first kingdom is kingdom Monera, then Protista, then Fungi, then Plantae, then Animalia. Simple handwriting, simple writing on papers, and I'm just showing it to you. How did you divide this? What was the basis of classification of this living world? Comes under the first part of first 2 pages of chapter 2 of NCERT class 11. There's a table which is given. Now remember the NCERT textbooks, neat. Consider that whatever you're reading in the written text has less importance than what is given in the tables. So each and every table has to be thoroughly memorized by you. Table which is given at the start of chapter 2 has to be thoroughly memorized and understood by all of you. I'm going to run you through the entire table. It just gives you the basis of classification of the living world into 5 kingdoms. And the basis of classification was, first and foremost, monerans and protists includes all unicellular organism. So the first 2 includes unicellular, meaning single-celled organisms. After that, the other 3 are multicellular organisms. So unicellular world on one side, Monera and Protista, multicellular world on the other side, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Repeating it again. Unicellular world on one side, Monera and Protista, multicellular world on the other side, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So, cellular organization is first most important basis of classification. Second is nuclear organization. What is the meaning of nucleus? Nucleus is found in the center of the cell. It is the controlling center of a cell. Now, those organisms which have a very well-defined or nicely defined nucleus are said to be eukaryotic. And those organisms that do not have a well-defined nucleus are said to be prokaryotic. I am repeating it again. The second basis of classification is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Organisms which have ill-defined, not properly defined nucleus. A nucleus which does not have a nuclear membrane, which does not have a separating unit, is called as a prokaryotic. What is the meaning of the word pro? Pro means primitive. What is the meaning of the word carrion? Carrion means nucleus. So prokaryotic means primitive nucleus. Eu means good. So prokaryotic, it is divided into pro and eukaryotic. Eu means good. Europe means good place to live. That's what they think. Eulogy is the study of good organisms. So the word EU in Latin means good. Write it down. Write down whatever is new to you. Eukaryon means good nucleus. The word karyotic means nucleus. Remember, students, for the next 2 years, the word carrion means nucleus. The word karyotic means nuclear assembly. Prokaryotic means primitive nucleus. Eukaryotic means good nucleus. Now, you understood that these 2 are unicellular and the rest of the living world, fungi, plantae, animalia, are multicellular. Out of these also, this, that is the first, which is Monera, includes all prokaryotic organisms. So all monerans are primitive nucleus organisms. And the 4 after that are good nucleus or eukaryotic organisms. Now, repeating it again. 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. Remember, you cannot change the order because monerans are the least sophisticated or least ill-developed organisms. Prokaryotic, unicellular. Protista. Eukaryotic, unicellular. Uni means 1. Fungi. Eukaryotic, multicellular. Plantae. Eukaryotic, multicellular. Animalia. Eukaryotic, multicellular. These 2 points are clear. So Monera includes all organisms of the world that have a primitive nucleus. The rest 4 have eukaryotic nucleus. Monera and Protista includes unicellular organisms. Rest of 3, fungi, plantae, and animalia are multicellular. So as you go from niche to upper, as you go from Monera to animalia, everything starts getting more and more sophisticated. So as you go from niche to upper, now remember, in my next few, all the lectures that you encounter with me from now on, I am going to refer to it as this world and that world. What does that this world and that world mean? Unsophisticated world. And then as you, so Monera से ज़्यादा sophisticated है Protista. Protista से ज़्यादा sophisticated है in terms of cellular organization, fungi. In terms of sophistication, more sophisticated than fungi is plantae. And most sophisticated is animalia. Clear? Repeating this again. Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. prokaryotic world on one side, eukaryotic world on the other side. Yes? So we've understood two bases of classification. First is cellular assembly, the second is nuclear assembly, on the basis of which the living world was classified into 5 kingdoms. Now, the third point is also on the basis of the type of nutrition. So monorans include mostly unicellular organisms. They are all prokaryotic organisms. One important thing that I want you all to remember is all bacteria of the world are monorans. All bacteria of the world are monorans. Second, Protista includes all unicellular eukaryotic organisms, well-developed nuclei organisms. They are said to be connecting link between prokaryotic world on one side, eukaryotic world on the other side. So Protista is the connecting link between prokaryotic world, which is Monera, and fungi, plantae, animalia, eukaryotic world on the other side, good nucleus world on the other side. Protista, the kingdom Protista is said to be a connecting link. Clear? Okay. After that comes fungi, plantae, and animalia. So on the basis of mode of nutrition, all bacteria of the world are heterotrophic. They may be autotrophic. They may be able to synthesize their own food, or they may be parasitizing other organisms. So bacteria are said to be heterotrophic as well as autotrophic. Same thing with Protista. They may be autotrophic, they may be heterotrophic. Fungi, all fungus are saprophytes, meaning they depend on dead and decaying organic matter for their food material, or they may be pathogenic fungus. Pathogenic means disease causing. Plantae, you all know, your favorite, it is always autotrophic in nature. So plants are 99.9% those organisms that are autotrophic, that can synthesize their own food. And kingdom Animalia is all heterotrophic. The more appropriate word for Animalia is holozoic. Now what is the difference between heterotrophic and holozoic? Auto means self. So autotrophic means synthesizing their own food. Heterotrophic means they cannot synthesize their own food. They depend on somebody else for synthesizing their food. And holozoic means those that ingest their food material. They've got an opening through which they ingest their food material. Now these points may sound a little vague, a little unclear to you right now, but as you keep listening to my lectures again and again, especially the shorts, you will get more and more clear about these words. There are a couple of new words you've been introduced to during this lecture. I'm going to repeat those words. Please do memorize them, write them down. Unicellular, multicellular, holozoic, heterotrophic, autotrophic. I want you to remember and memorize the meanings of all these words. Holozoic means ingest their own food. Autotrophic means can synthesize their own food. Heterotrophic means cannot synthesize their own food. Prokaryotic means primitive nucleus. Eukaryotic means well-developed nucleus. Unicellular means single-celled. Multicellular means several-celled organisms. Now, I will continue with this in the next lecture, but I just want you to be clear on one point. What do you mean by synthesizing their own food? What is food? If somebody can answer this question, I think it will solve a lot of your problems. Meaning that portion from which the organism derives energy to do its daily activities. So even a unicellular, single-celled organism needs that some chemical compound which it can use to derive energy, to be able to do its activities. What are the activities? When there is a cellular basis, when there is a cell and the cell is actively metabolizing, it is doing something, it is using something, it is making some organelles, its nucleus is functioning, it has to reproduce. For all that, it needs to be metabolically active, and for all that activity, it needs energy. Even a single cell needs energy. And where does it get this energy from? If it is able to synthesize its own food, energy giving food, which will provide energy to it, in the presence of sunlight, it is said to be autotrophic. In terms of physics, energy of the sun, light energy, is captured and converted into chemical energy, chemical bond. Mostly the food that is synthesized is C6H12O6, which is glucose. You've heard these words before. Most important energy giving source in a living body, living cell, is always glucose, which is C6H12O6. So every cell has glucose, yes. What is the formula? C6H12O6. In case there is no glucose, then that organism can utilize protein for its source of energy. It can also utilize fats for its source of energy. But the primary source of energy or food is always carbohydrates, which is glucose, and loosely the word that is termed for it is food. Food doesn't mean what you put in a thali and eat. That is for you. For a single-celled organism, food means something which is giving it source of energy. For a fungus, it derives that from dead and decaying organic matter. It eats up dead and decaying organic matter to get that source of energy. Kingdom Plantae can synthesize that energy-giving substance in the presence of sunlight using carbon dioxide and water by a process called photosynthesis. For Kingdom Animalia, they are all heterotrophic, meaning they cannot synthesize it. They depend on plants or fungus, other living world, to meet their energy requirement. And this energy requirement is met by something which is called as food. This food is broken down, energy is released in calories. This energy is used to drive its complex processes. That is what is the meaning of the word autotrophic and heterotrophic. Very, very critical, very, very important. Do remember this. I'm ending the lecture for now. It will become too long. Do ask me in the comment section if there's something else you need to know. And do like, subscribe, share this channel with the friends. Keep coming back to Clear Bio Factory with Rekha ma'am for complete concept clarity regarding bio.